Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of The Mind of Reese. Holy moly, this one is going to be such a quickie, a little quickie about meditation and why it's so important. But before we get into that, what is happening? Let's see. We have so many amazing things. Right now I'm opening up my new shop and it's just been amazing. It's been so fun, so fast. Since this is the third time I'm doing this, it gets so much easier and you get to know people. You have a good network of people, and so it's just been so fun. But if you are a tattoo artist and you are in the San Diego area, or you have tattoo artist friends in the San Diego area and you feel like this might be a beautiful change for you, in the show notes we are looking not only for guest artists but resident artists who would like to come work in this really co-collaborative, growth-oriented, excellent, safe, holistic space. And so we are just, I'm here to thrive and I'm here to invite people along the way with me. So who's in? If you are in, you can go ahead and click in the show notes and apply if you'd like to guest spot or even resident or, perma guest. There's so many different options that you can do. But if that sounds like you, more than welcome to give me a shout. Also, we have Meditation22 coming up, and obviously had to talk about meditation when Meditation22 is coming up. But what is Meditation22, you ask? Well, it's basically 22 days of meditation challenge. So in July, I will be holding a 22-day meditation challenge where for $22, you meditate with me for 22 days. You are entered to win some really rad fucking prizes like iPads and really beautiful bundle gifts that I make myself for each winner as I channel through what I believe that they could benefit from. You could be winning one-on-ones with me. You could also be winning programs and things like this. So I'd say if you are in, like Flynn, let's do it together. And honestly, I love challenges just because they're really just easy to, if you've always wanted to meditate and you're been dying to learn why meditation, how to meditate, what guided meditation should you be going through. We're going to go through healing. We're going to go through quantum, existing 5D dimensional meditations and consciousness. We're going to be heading into some shadow work and healing work that I do in a lot of within Unfuckwithable and Inspired Academy. And so it's just going to be so much fun. So if you've been like, man, I've really been wanting to get into meditation, this is your chance. 22 days, $22, just a little skin in the game, and you're entered in to win some pretty epic prizes. So that's that. You want to join in on that? That'll be in the show notes as well. Lastly, we have Inspired Academy that is now open for early bird enrollment right now. If you are a tattoo artist who is really looking to grow their business into a scalable and sustainable tattoo business, this is for you. These are my 5 foundational steps on how to create a very wildly successful tattoo business from the inside out, as well as all of the strategy, marketing especially. I know everybody here is always like, how do we work the social media? This is a heavily social media driven program, but it's also so much more than that. So if you want to check out what that looks like, go ahead and click in the show notes. We are starting at the end of August, so you are in super early bird. This means you're getting like $700 off at this point. So loving on you guys. And I hope you love this episode. If you do, please do not hesitate to let me know, screenshot it, send it my way, all the good stuff. I really want to just love on you, and I love knowing who the community is over here, because it really just lights me up and it really just helps me continue to do all of the things that I do and to continue to give you as much value as possible, and the value that you really desire too. It's not just what I think you need, it's really co-collaborative, and I love asking and knowing what it is that you desire. And so, and if you feel like this is a really good podcast episode and you love it and you want to give it a 5 stars, screenshot that, DM it to me. I always send really fun gifts to people that do that, because we're spreading the love here. And but anyway, I hope you love this episode, because I sure did love making it. I love you, and here we go. Welcome back to another episode of The Mind of Reese. Today we're going to get into the 7 different reasons why you should meditate as a tattoo artist. Now, I know a lot of my audience here are spiritual entrepreneurs, or maybe you're dibble-dabbling in it, but whatever the reasons may be, if you don't already know, I'm a huge proponent to bridging the gap. So I definitely love to bridge the gap. I'm a Virgo sun and a Cancer moon. So when we think about that, I'm like, okay, so I have a lot of feelings and I'm like up in the space and I'm spiritual and I have the spiritual creativity vibes. And so it's like, and then I also have this like grounded logical about me. So I need the logic, I need the science, and I also need to understand the spirituality aspect of it. And so I am just going to give you both when it comes to meditation and why it's so important. And the reason why we're talking about this now is because in July, I'm going to be starting Meditation22, which is 22 days of meditating for $22, really easy to get in. And basically, you got a lot of cool, fun prizes that you could win, from iPads to, homemade gift baskets from me with books and tarot cards and all these other things that I just love to give, and the things that I actually utilize within my home. And so I individually, whoever wins, will channel through like what I believe is the right gift for you. And yeah, we just kind of go from there. There'll be free programs or 50% off programs and things like this. And so there's going to be a lot of prizes for this, but all in all, I'm going to be teaching you the reasons why we meditate, how to meditate, go through some guided meditations, and so many different ones. And only 22 days is not enough, but this is such a fun challenge, and it gets people really revved up about like, wow, I've always wanted to meditate, but I've never started. And if you've always wanted to start, then this is like your chance. Challenges are the best way to get things started, and 22 days just felt really juicy just because, it's kind of like an angel number to me, and I see 222 all the time. So I figured, why not? And then make it a really cheap challenge by just saying, hey, it's $22. So at least you put a little skin in the game by just being like, yep, I put $22 in. Now I know I'm going to show up every day. So the 7 reasons why we meditate. Number 1, this is a big one, creative innovation. When you're in your mind, you create a future from a past version of yourself, right? So every time we create something, we're creating from a past version of ourselves. So your art looks the same because you operate from past self-consciousness. And your business may not be where it's meant to be because you're doing all the same things, you're thinking all the same things, you're creating the same emotions that create the same behaviors, that create the same thoughts, and you expect different results. So presence is where possibility is held, limitless potential. And becoming present to the moment, you will see the innovation. So what this looks like, our prefrontal cortex is our perception, our third eye. Our third eye in our chakra system, it's our 6th chakra. And it opens up our perception. So when we become present in the moment and we're no longer thinking of what happened yesterday or what's in the past and all of these things that are going on, and we're staying very present of what's happening right now, we end up opening up the perception. We take off like the horse blinders is what I like to call them, and open up the perception to the possibilities at hand. And in the possibilities, in the moment, is where innovation lies. Innovation means creating something you've never created before. And that's what we want to do. We want to evolve in our artwork. We want to evolve in our business. We want to see the evolution in the business and overall life. So number 2, it strengthens our intention and our vision. An intention creates a vision. If your intention is success, freedom, wealth, impact, you create that vision of what that looks like uniquely to you, right? And you feel it in the body, releasing chemicals in the brain. So when we feel something in the body, we release the chemicals in the brain, and this literally creates a vision. Your brain doesn't know the difference between what is 3D material world and what is 5D higher consciousness, the dream state, the theta brainwaves. This is 5D. Now, in science, that's 5D, but also 5D in the spiritual. 5D consciousness is creator consciousness. This means there's no separation between me and the thing that I want. You change your energy, you change your frequency. You can change this automatically when you create that vision and that intention within your body. And every day you practice in the meditation, you can enter the 5D realm, see the vision, and connect yourself to it so that you can collapse time from between where you are and where it is you want to go. And when we can do that in the quantum, in the theta brainwave state, we actually start to shift cellularly. We start to change the way that we think. We start to fire and wire differently within the brain. We're growing new cells. New neurons are firing in our brain to help us create the pathways toward that future. And that vibration ends up being a direct match to all the things that you want and to who you are. You are only a match to who you are, not what you want. So you become the frequency. And when you see what it is that you want, you start to shift the identity. It's like, who do I need to be to have that thing? No longer living off the past version of yourself. Number 3, the third reason why you want to meditate. Clarity. Goodbye, confusion. Hello, clarity. That is where we at. Being in the mind won't combat being in the mind. When you are trying to logic your way out of something, if you are confused what to do next, you will gain clarity by being in the body. If you're confused on what to do next and you're continuing to stay up in the mind, you're going to continue to stay confused. Your body is pure wisdom. Listen to it. Drop in. And the only way we can drop in is when we get out of the mind. And how do we get out of the mind? We drop in through presence. How do we get present? Meditation is one of the tools that you can do that to get present. It's one of my favorite fucking tools. It's the one I live and die by. It's actually the biggest reason why I believe that I made $560,000 last year, why I continue to make anywhere from $20,000 to $50,000 a month. It's because when I continue to create clarity within my life, I continue to create that level of standard. I cut away all the busy work that's like, nope, this doesn't adhere to the person to me in the future. This only adheres to the person to me at the past. Is this past version of myself? Is this feeling within me the feeling that my future self has? If not, I want nothing to do with it. And I can love on it and all that good stuff. Okay? So number 4, the number 4th reason for meditation, identity shifts. We were already talking about this, I think, in 1 and 2. It's like when you witness the uncomfortable feelings within your body. So like, let's say in number 3, it's like, does this emotion belong in my future? If not, then goodbye. But sometimes we can't just say, hey, goodbye, get out of here. The way that we do that is through meditation. I utilize meditation for my shadow work, for my parts work, for inner child work, for Buddhist death meditation. I teach this a lot in Unfuck with Bull, one of my programs. If you want in on that, you can go check out the show notes and all that good stuff. But this is where meditation allows you to identity shift and to actually alchemize feelings within your body. So when we get aware of the feeling, instead of trying to get rid of the feeling, whenever we try to push a feeling down from us and say, hey, and basically, what's the word? Oh gosh, I forget the word it's called. It's, anyway, when we're telling ourselves that we're not feeling a feeling we have in our body, we are gaslighting. That's the word. When we gaslight ourselves, we're saying, oh, that feeling's not real. We don't need that feeling. Whatever. I'm not feeling that feeling. We continue to perpetuate the feeling over and over again within us. And then there will be some experience in the external world that will cause us to have this feeling again and again and again until we heal it. Why? Because any lesson we have not learned will continue to show up in our lives until we learn it, period. And so instead of trying to run away from it and avoid it, because when we are in avoidance, we are living in the contraction. We are constantly living in that perpetual state of avoidance, and then we operate from avoidance, and we're always going to make moves and strategies and do things in our business and in our life from avoidance. And so if I'm trying to avoid all of these feelings that I don't want to have, then I'm not going to make big moves in my business, and I'm going to wonder why I don't see the level of success that I desire within my business. So when you have these moments, you utilize meditation to witness the uncomfortable feelings, you alchemize and you transmute them into dripping gold momentum. All of the feelings we avoid, shame, unworthiness, insecurities, are actually meant to be overcome because they will become your source of power and lead you to true success, impact, wealth, community, and freedom. Moving through these emotions literally begin to draw the map toward all you desire. Your fear becomes your freedom. And that's a gangster. If you're telling me that I'm going to create staying power through meditation, I'm going to be able to handle these really hard tough feelings that make me feel like they're going to kill me, and actually feel into them, give them space to breathe, not shame them. When we shine the light on the shadow, when we continuously push something down, we will only perpetuate it being in the shadow. And that shadow is always going to be there niggling at you. It's going to be like, it's like that disgusting feeling in the back of your neck when you're like, don't touch me on the back of my neck. When someone starts tickling you, you're like, no, I don't like this feeling. And you're just like, and then sometimes it's irritating. It's like that irritating feeling that's what happens. So when we can release that, we open up ourselves to more space. We open ourselves up to the perception for clarity. We open up ourselves to, intention and strengthening the vision, because then our visions no longer become adherent to the avoidance. Our vision is like, wow, that thing that I want is actually possible. And I do see my limitless potential versus the part of you that says, well, it's not, it's probably never going to happen because I'm consistently avoiding all the feelings that make me feel like I have to do something different than what I'm doing already. Or identity shift. So that's number 4. Number 5, spiritual awareness. Energy flows where focus goes. You're strengthened your metacognition. You're right. Your metacognition, what does that mean? It means to think about the thoughts you are thinking. It's literally what I call the quantum observer. You are being the quantum observer. You're watching yourself. You're watching your psyches, the parts of you that are operating from past versions of yourself, your inner child, your inner teenager, your young adult, your ego, your inner judge, your inner critic. These parts of you that you hear all the time, that you believe are you, and creating these thoughts that create the feelings, that create more thoughts, that create your behaviors, that create your actions. That spiritual awareness, when you become the observer of your thoughts, emotions, and feelings, the better you can get at controlling them. You go from victim consciousness to creator consciousness. You go from third dimensional realm, from the material realm, from separation, from the program, from survival matrix, to why is this happening to me mentality, to creator consciousness, to non-separation, to everyone as one. I am not separate from the thing that I want. How is this happening through me mentality? And that's a fucking vibe, because then all of a sudden I take my power back and say, no, Satan, I control my reality. I am the co-creator of my reality. There's something way bigger out there for me. And you know what? I don't have to do this alone. That spiritual awareness offers us that space, that knowing that I am more energy than matter. I am more energy than particle. My body is only 0.0001% particle. Substance. The rest is energy. So if I'm just vibrating this close and creating something tangible, what makes me think that not everything on this planet is energy and that I can actually touch it within the quantum? There is no space and time in the quantum. I can touch things. It's more light. In the third dimension, everything is dimensional. It's tangible. It's material. It's saying we're separate. It's saying, so many things are happening to me. This is the duality. There's duality. There's yes and no. There's right and wrong. There's shoulds and shouldn'ts. In the quantum, it's all love. It's all connection. It's all forgiveness. And and the only way to enter that realm is to really let go of all the emotional baggage of your past and let go of who you are or what you think you are or whatever it is you believe about yourself, and letting that go and realizing you're so much more than that. You are a spiritual being living a human experience, not the other way around. That's the spiritual awareness that you'll gain. And it is so fucking potent and it's beautiful, because I don't want to do this alone. If I believe that I got to do it all by myself and I've got to hustle and push and strive and 2x linear thinking, right? If you listen to my last podcast or if you're unfuckwithable with me, then you know that 2x linear thinking, all it is doing the same things you are already doing, but harder and faster. And that is not sustainable. That is called burnout. And that's why a lot of artists are burned the fuck out, is because they believe that they're the only ones that got to do the thing. We, on the other side, as spiritual entrepreneurs, we know there's something bigger. We know there's something more. We know that there's a bigger power outside of us that helps us in this game we call life. And we're like, wow, you know what? I can do all the things I know to do. I can push myself to my edges. I can show up in good fucking energy. I can constantly be in meditation and, heal the parts of myself that believe I'm not worthy of the thing that I desire. And then I know I can surrender because I know that the universe has my back. And then I know that the universe conspires for me in every moment. And that everything is happening through me, happening for me. And I no longer am a victim to my own fucking circumstances. I get to choose how I see this world. I get to choose the perception I want. That's a fucking vibe. Okay? Number 6, balance. Work-life balance. Meditation helps with fucking balance. Doing and being balance. The feminine and masculine balance. All first come from the mind. Body balance. Our energy centers are all in line. Our energy centers adhere to the exact reason as creator. I talked about this in the chakra podcast. I would go and check that out, how our ideas start from the crown chakra and then enter into the visual. We see the vision, and then we decide to talk about it through our throat chakra, and we declare it, and then we follow it because we fall in love with it with our hearts, and then we actually move and take action from our solar, and then we create sustainability through the joy of our sacral, and then we root ourselves into impact, into tribal mentality, into spreading this love and creating higher consciousness and doing something that's bigger than me energy. And that joy that creates that balance, there will no longer be separation in the being and the doing. It's all one. The creator and the creation, there's no separation to it. You're just like, whoa, she's creating and she's the creator. Oh my God, there's like so many things going on here. It's the most beautiful thing to be in that much balance, to have a life and a job and a purpose that is so life-giving that it doesn't have to be separate, that it doesn't have to be like, oh, well, yes, the weekend. I'm not a kind of person that works for the weekend. Every day, I remember someone was saying to me that really was so profound. I was coming back from Belgium, and they were on the plane, and they were like, back to reality. And I thought about that, and it made me smile, and it made me really compassionate about that person, because that's 99% of this world's thinking. It's back to reality. But in my mind, this is my reality. I create this reality, and this reality is fucking good. Like, I don't have to go back to anything. That's balance. I've created that within my life. It wasn't always so. I had that mentality of like, oh, back to reality, gotta get back to the grind. It's like these sayings that make us feel better because the societal conditioned way of thinking has told us that that's the way we must talk and that's the way life is. And it's like, I get to choose. Back to number 5, reason why I meditate. I get to choose. I get to be in that balance. Meditating offers me so much space to integrate and innovate new ways of doing business, to create space. I'm like, oh, you know what? I'm feeling really overwhelmed. I'm feeling really like I'm not in my joy. What does meditation do? Instead of me trying to outthink it, oh, what do I got to do? It opens me up to the possibilities. And you know what? I download. That's what it is. I download it. I channel it through, oh, you know what? You know what can make my business really efficient? If I delegated all of the things that don't light me the fuck up. All right, I got to pay someone to do that. Okay. What does that look like? Okay, make it really easy on myself. All of a sudden, I'm like, wow, I just have to delegate it. Do I got to move through that money block in my mind around like, well, I got to hire someone, how much money? It's like, no, take the steps, hire someone, realize how much time, space, and energy, attention, resources you get back. And you can utilize those resources towards how you can make sure you pay your person, as opposed to, no, well, I might as well do all the busy work. That's not 10x thinking. That's 2x thinking. That's not quantum leap thinking. That's past life thinking. Meditation helps with balance. And lastly, number 7, meditation helps you become a better fucking listener. We're always asking how to do this or that in life and business, or even what should we do next, but we never actually listen to the whispers nudging us in that direction. But this also means listening to the people around us. clients, family, friends, mentors, and peers. There is no such thing as coincidence. Often the people around us will say the things that will either excite us or contract us. Listen. The universe is trying to speak through you in those moments. When someone is saying something that makes you, that triggers you, listen. Listen to your body. When someone says something that lights you the fuck up, listen to your body. Do not try to logic it. Being in the mind will combat being in the mind. You're never going to be able to logic why you want to do something or why you don't want to do something. Listen to the nudge. Follow through with the nudge. Logic your way another time. Logic is beautiful. Contemplation is beautiful when you are not in the mind. But when you are so far in the mind and you're in imbalance, when you're in disempowered state, there's no way that logic is going to help you see a pro and con to something. Like, people always want to write a pro and con as to reasons why they should either break up with their boyfriend or not break up with their boyfriend. And it's like, if I feel like I just don't want to be with him, I don't need a reason. It's not that that the relationship is bad. It's not that the relationship, there's something wrong with him or there's something wrong with me. It's that it's just ending. We're changing. This is a life and death. Like, every new iteration of ourselves is going to ask. It's going to be a birth and a death. It's going to be a rebirth and a death every single time. And that's going to feel like a loss. And we don't want to lose. But that's 3-dimensional thinking. There's no such thing as loss when we think about it from a 5-dimensional consciousness. There's only evolution. Evolution for them. Evolution for me. And so there's your logic. If you feel like you're wanting to do something, go and do it. You don't have to explain yourself to anybody. The reason why I meditate is because I need to constantly remind myself that I am being expressed. And how can I find the truth of myself in this moment? I find my truth through meditation, through being in my body, through listening to the whispers from the universe telling me, this is the right path, Reese. Trust me. And as a spiritual entrepreneur, I have faith. I trust, I surrender that I'm doing everything I can, but I'm also open to miracles. I am a match to miracles and fucking magic, and that I'm a match to something amazing. And if not the thing that I want, then something even better. So, short and sweet for this podcast episode. I love you guys so much. I wanted to do this before I went to the doctor's office and we made it just in time. So I love you guys. I hope you join me in Meditation 22. We will have everything up here pretty soon for you to sign up. We are so excited to have you. Loving on you. Yeah, and if you feel like sharing this, share it out with the world and, share it with the people that might want to join. We want everybody to be meditating. We want everybody on 5D consciousness. When you thrive, we all thrive. Like, that's a vibe. Like, let's do it together. I love you so much. Have a great day.